Imagine this, you're on your daily evening walk and suddenly you have this amazing idea. It's so big, it makes your heart race with excitement. This can change my life, you think, as you imagine the many happy places your new adventure can take you. But then, just as quickly, a wave of fear crashes over you. You remember what could go wrong and how that might affect your life. What if I spend years writing the book and no one reads it? What if the business fails and I can't pay my bills? What if I approach her and she rejects me? These whispers of doubt may seem quiet, but they are loud enough to drown out the roar of many dreams. Their potency lies in the fear they trigger, the fear of failure. Interestingly, it's not just about this fear. What makes failure more terrifying is the thought of the consequences that come with it. To be fair, envisioning the vivid imagery of how this might play out in reality can be quite scary. The pain, anxiety, embarrassment, low self-esteem, shame, or even social stigma are dreaded outcomes that can make anyone reconsider undertaking a risky adventure. But this is completely natural. That's our brain doing its job, protecting us. The issue then becomes how we respond. Do you move forward or stay where you are? Unfortunately, many people wish for the former but defeatedly do the latter. If you want to avoid the regrets of what could have been and go after what you actually want out of life, you have to be ready to flip the script. There are 5 things you can do to overcome the fear of failure and its potential consequences. The 5th one is where you go toe-to-toe with this fear to render it powerless and clear the path to chase your goals. 1. Redefine failure. What if going after your goal is no longer about the binary constraints of success or failure? What if it's just about curiosity and discovery? Thanks to the tough lessons I've learned from my entrepreneurial and investing journey, risk-taking is fast becoming a controlled experiment where every outcome is a valuable insight. Some of these lessons have been expensive, but I've also found them to be priceless. What if chasing your dream is about learning from every step and making each attempt better than the last? What if you tell yourself, I'll publish the book and use the feedback to make the next one more compelling? This mindset shift takes you from being an anxious player on the field, worried about scores, to a composed analyst on the stands, recording useful stats for further analysis. That's a lot of weight off your shoulders. 2. Share your fears. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and as you leave, you feel relieved, empowered, motivated, or more confident? Sometimes, all it takes for some fears to disappear is to share them with somebody you trust, especially someone who has walked the very path you're dreading. They might show you that whatever you're afraid of is commonplace and nothing to worry about. Oh, we all got rejected in the beginning, but look at us now, they might say. Thinking everyone else had the same experience suddenly changes how you feel about this possible undesirable outcome. You might even get tips on how to numb the effect if it happens. Sharing your fears this way is about normalization, perspective, and support. Perhaps that's why they say a problem shared is a problem halved. 3. Adopt a growth mindset. If you want to become a successful writer, you have to start writing. And if you want to excel at swimming, you have to first get comfortable in water. How can you grow a business you've not started? The point is, taking action is how you develop, and if you don't go after your goal, it will remain out of reach. Moreover, the journey to mastery is not linear. It's full of ups and downs. On this journey, sometimes you will win, and some other times you will lose. However, if you don't quit, you will eventually learn what it takes to reach the top, and what you need to do to get back up whenever life knocks you down. But you won't be free to live this transformative experience if you let the fear of failure hold you hostage. 4. Visualize success. I remember the story of the 2 shoe salesmen who went to a remote village where no one wore shoes. They came back with 2 opposing reports. The first one said, "Nobody here wears shoes. We won't be able to sell a single pair." The second said, "It's fantastic. Nobody here wears shoes. No one sells shoes. We're going to sell thousands of pairs." Sometimes, whether or not you go after your goals is down to perspective. Do you see a problem or an opportunity? Visualizing success can shift your mindset and help you reframe the narrative. Instead of thinking, "I can't get there because of that obstacle," you say, "I'm going there, I just need to clear the hurdle on the way." What you vividly envision has a way of becoming your reality. when you peep over the fence long enough to see the more fulfilling life waiting for you on the other side, you soon start fixating on what to do to reach it. Thankfully, you don't need to bring down the wall to make this happen. You can always jump over it. Remember when I talked about going toe-to-toe with the fear of failure to render it powerless? Now is the time to do that. So, brace yourself. 5. Disarm the consequences. This is where you subdue the power of the fear holding you back from going after your goals. Ironically, this is exactly what the fear is looking to do to you, to disempower you from making your dream come true. As you can imagine, at the end of the day, only one of you will be standing. I really hope it's you. To win this battle convincingly, you need to first understand what exactly you are afraid of. Like I mentioned earlier, what is driving the fear of failure is the paralyzing thoughts of the consequences that might come with it. So, what are the likely repercussions of failing at your goal? Take some time to write them down because you will need to go after them one by one. For instance, you might not want to quit your job to start your own business because you think if it fails, the following might happen. 1. You might struggle to pay your bills. 2. It can have a negative impact on your reputation. 3. It might cause a strain in your personal relationships. 4. It can take an emotional toll on you, including feelings of guilt, shame, or inadequacy. 5. It might be difficult to get a new job. Drawing inspiration from the principles of risk management, you can avoid, mitigate, transfer, or actively accept these consequences. In a chronological order, you can respond to the concerns above as follows. 1. Before quitting your job, you can first build a runway of 12-24 months or more for peace of mind in case your business fails or if it doesn't generate enough revenue on time. You can also take out a business interruption or an income protection insurance for additional security. 2. Many renowned entrepreneurs like Richard Branson, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs all had their fair share of failure before eventually finding success. Interestingly, people hardly talk about their early failures. As long as you keep learning and growing, you just might have begun your own journey to entrepreneurial greatness. 3. When going into business, you should adopt effective communication and transparency with the people in your life. Don't wait till your spouse asks you, "What have you done with our life savings?" before opening up on your entrepreneurial ordeal. Be clear and realistic with your expectations from the onset. 4. I will refer you to point 1 above, which is about redefining failure. Remember, failure is not a reflection of your self-worth. It's simply a data point on your journey. You can build your emotional resilience by surrounding yourself with a supportive circle. If you're introverted like me, you should know that this circle doesn't have to be big. In fact, if you have no one, congratulations, because the internet has an endless list of people who have successfully chased the same goals as you, but haven't allowed setbacks to become their final destinations. 5. Running a business will equip you with new transferable skills that will make you more valuable in the eyes of some employers. So, it's about how you reframe and present your experience. That failed business might turn out to be a blessing in disguise after all. The goal here is to address these potential consequences early on so they don't scare you into giving up on your goals. In other words, if the concerns above are the scary worst-case scenarios and you're prepared for them, suddenly the fear of failure is subdued and you can stride confidently towards your dream. Let me leave you with this. The idea that we miss 100% of the shots we don't take is one I ponder on regularly. It makes me wonder the number of 50-50 chances that could have gone our way over the years if only we had mustered the courage to go after them. Why do we talk ourselves out of that phone call and settle for the default no when there is a chance that a yes might be waiting for us at the end of the line? I want you to always remember this. Some goals are just too important to let fear stop you from making them happen. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light.